I have noticed some men don't like to date women that have kids.
You got kids?
Of course.
How many you got? Why you huffing and puffing?
Because I got 6.
God damn to the left.
Why? Tú estás loco. Por cojones.
Don't do that. That shit turn me on, though.
I have 8 baby daddies, okay? So I'm explaining this one time for y'all.
You said explain.
What's the problem with dating as single mums? I don't understand the issue with these men.
Single mothers are finding dating challenging, as it's not meeting their expectations, and it's something they are not happy about. They want to know what's going on.
Did you have another questions that you wanted to ask over to the ladies?
Yeah, I'm gonna get right into an important
all
question.
right.
And it's not necessarily a deal breaker, so I don't want anybody to think that, but do you already have kids, is my question.
Yes, I already have children, and I do not want any more.
Jesus.
Yes, I do have 2 kids, 2
No.
boys,
No.
and I don't want any more either.
Okay.
So why are they looking for man? To help them raise Chad's children?
Nope, I have no kids, just fur babies. That's about it.
Okay.
Respect it.
Okay.
7 to be exact.
Damn! 7 dogs?
3 children,
Okay.
and they are young adults.
Okay.
And I am not looking to have any more.
Okay.
It is my time.
I hear you.
I'm
You right.
traveling.
Yes.
I'm traveling.
You in your era.
But all these women with kids means there are equal amount of men that have those kids too. You never need podcasts about them. Kevin Samuels didn't lie. Not looking to have kids, but want a new man is crazy. But they all want a high-powered man. Let that sink in. There is nothing wrong with not wanting to have more children when you already have them, but be aware this decision will inevitably impact your dating life. Imagine if they meet a guy who doesn't have children but dreams of building his own family. They wouldn't be able to keep him as they are not able to provide what he is looking for. They must be aware of their dating options, as it will be a lot different and possibly will need a bit of adjustment. As long as they target the right demographic, things will go smoothly for them. Their ideal partner would be a gentleman of a certain age, who already has his kids and is not interested in having more, or someone who doesn't want to build his own family. Those options would make the overall process easy, but we know most of them are not interested in that group. If you ask them what would be their ideal partner, they most likely would describe a young Chad, make a certain amount of money, and preferably childless, and this is where the disconnect comes from. It seems like they don't think through their option very well, and this is why a lot of them struggle in this department. But if they are realistic to themselves and only go for guys who will match what they are bringing to the table, they won't have any issues when it comes to finding a partner.
Next, we have a single mother who decided to have another child with her ex even though she knows he is currently in another relationship. Seems like she is pretty happy being a side chick to her baby's father. This Chad is definitely doing something right. Let's have a look at her video.
Make this make sense. So I have a 4 and a 5-year-old and a newborn, 1 baby daddy. My 4 and a 5-year-old were at home, and I was in the hospital with my newborn baby. So when my baby daddy picked me up, he had his girlfriend in the car. Did I know he had a girlfriend? Yes. We co-parent with our 4 and a 5-year-old. So on Mondays, he drops the kids off. On Mondays, he picks the kids up. He usually comes inside on Mondays and plays with his kids or packs their stuff or bathes, whatever he tells her that he's doing, while she sits outside. Jackaroo. Anyway, so while she sits outside for about 45 minutes. Now, on one of those Mondays, Jackaroo was conceived. And then we had Jackaroo. He was still living with his girlfriend, but we had Jackaroo. So yeah.
Wisdom is chasing you, but you are faster. Please don't share anything more. Being a side chick to your baby daddy is crazy. You couldn't beat this information out of me. Who's sitting in the car for 45 minutes? So you willingly became a single baby mama for the 3rd time. Instead of finding a way to give her child a stable family with a father and mother at home to raise them, she decided to play with her ex and have another child. She knows he is already in a new relationship, but still, she thought it would be a good idea to have another child with him. The funny part about her story is that she decided to become a side chick of her baby daddy. He must be good at this game because he is playing both of them. Talking about his current partner, why is she waiting in the car for 45 minutes while her partner stays indoors with his baby mama? They are being played by the same guy, but what makes it more interesting is the fact they know about it. Then she will make another video complaining that she didn't want to be a single mother, blaming him for it, but we can clearly see she was the main character in this story. Sometimes it's hard to believe they placed themselves in this situation, only to complain about it later. I bet now she is ready to find someone to settle down with, preferably a nice guy she couldn't date because he was too boring.
At some point, most single mothers come to the realization the dating scene isn't what they expected it to be. And this is why they always look for the answer. The woman in the next clip wants to know why she is struggling when it comes to finding someone.
I have noticed some men don't like to date women that have kids.
Is this not? is it normally men who already have children or men who don't have children?
Sometimes it's men that already have kids, and which is sad because it's like you already have kids, but you don't want to date someone that has kids.
Do you think that the economic times that we're in has a lot to do with that? Because I can see that a man who possibly have children with someone else, and then they come into a relationship with a woman who has children, they may not want to carry that financial load of the responsibility of having to care for this child also.
Right. Economically, I don't know. That's a tough question, actually. It's very tough because, like I said, everything plays a part in everything. Economically, yes, it is hard.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Because when you look at like back then,
Yeah.
it was much more prevalent for a man to be open to taking a woman with children. It was easier to do that, especially when you consider being able to afford a bigger family back then.
Most men and women will date a person with a child. But the person with a child needs to bring more to the table than the options that are childless. For example, you can't have a child and be socially weird and have an attitude. I am currently dating a woman with a child. Last Friday she said she could see me from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., but then she had to go. I'm truly selfish, so I'm probably just going to distance myself. I think it's because the women are typically full-time parents, so being in a serious relationship with such a person means being a partner and a parent. Whereas the women who don't have kids and date men with kids typically don't have to inherit the role of mother and partner because the child's mother is doing the full-time mothering. I'll be honest. I've had better dating experiences with men that have kids. This may not be everyone's experience, but it's been mine. I'm talking about men that are involved in their kids' life. I find them to be more mature personally. For some, kids bring maturity to some men. They are serious about their time and life. Again, that's been my experience. Happily married with 3 stepchildren, and we now have a 7-month-old together. God is good. They have made a great point in this video, and this is what most single mothers tend to ignore. We all know our economy is getting heavier and most people are feeling it. Things are difficult for everyone, especially those who have larger families, and this is a fact they shouldn't forget. As we are expected to be the main providers, and if given the option, we would choose to have a smaller family on our shoulders as it would make life easier, and financially it makes a lot of sense. Also, we can't forget other aspects such as the lack of time, as she will have to manage her work, child care, and romantic life. She will definitely have a limited amount of time allocated for any man she decides to be involved with, and this is something that would make the relationship a bit more challenging. We didn't mention the possibility of baby daddy drama, which can also impact the relationship. Those are some of the reasons most guys would rather build their own families, but it's also important to stress it's not only guys having these preferences, as some women also prefer the same thing.
Next, we have a Latina who couldn't believe her date wasn't willing to be with her since she has 6 kids. She believes it shouldn't matter. Let's have a look at it.
You got kids?
Of course.
How many you got? Why you huffing and puffing?
Because I got 6.
God damn to the left.
Why?
I mean, I ain't trying to deal with that shit.
Nigga, you ain't got to deal with that shit. I take care of mine, nigga.
You got 6 kids?
Yes, and I take care of mine. You ain't got to take care of mine.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I'm still good.
So to the left?
Yeah.
Tú estás loco. Por cojones.
Don't do that. That shit turn me on though, kid. I ain't gonna lie. Come on, get up out of here. Get up. Come on, baby.
To the right. It ain't to the left. To the right. To the right, nigga.
Security. Hey, get our ass. I done heard about that. Hey.
She said he would not have to deal with it as she takes care of them. Will she be the main provider? Don't make that statement if you are not looking to take the provider role.
They ass be crazy.
Oye, puñeta, tú estás loco para el carajo, de verdad.
God damn it, get your ass on the right then.
Hey, thank you, papi.
That's how she got 6 kids. No, speaking that El Spaniel. Stay strong, brother. Damn.
Men love women with a lot of kids. She needs to go make it work with her baby daddy. If you are going to have 6 kids, then you should be with the father. She is about to have 7. It's interesting when women say they will take care of their children and they are not looking for men for that purpose, but at the same time, if you ask them what they are looking for, they will say a provider. With that being said, why would she claim she doesn't need someone to provide for her child when she is looking for a provider for herself? It doesn't make sense, and they should stop the cap at this point. This statement would be valid only if she was planning to be the solo, or the main provider. She would have a better chance trying to make it work with the father of her children, as the dating game is already hard for everyone, and it becomes more challenging when involving 6 kids. She should do a survey and ask childless women about their dating life. It would give her a better picture of what it's like to be navigating the dating in the current era, and this is the reason her ex would be more understanding and possibly her best option. We can see even though she is attractive, he was determined to send her to the left, as it's not something he would be willing to deal with. This is just the reality of it, but in the end, she used her Latina magic and got him to change his decision. This is probably how she got herself 6 kids in the first place, and the way things are going, it's evident she won't stop at this number.
The next clip speaks for itself. The woman who recorded that video has a lot to say regarding the fact that many fathers are absent in their child's life. She is definitely clueless when it comes to this subject.
In 2024, can we stop this whole narrative that the mother of your child is keeping your kids from you?
No, we can't. Because it's not just a narrative.
If you wanted to see your kids, you would. A lot of you don't see your kids because you literally do not ask to see them.
Some men don't. That's true. But the majority of them do actually want to spend time with their children.
It's not the mother of your child's responsibility to ask you if you want to see your own kids. And if the mother of your child doesn't ask you if you want to see your own kids, it doesn't mean she's keeping your kids from you. And if the court doesn't grant you custody, it literally means you're an unfit father. That is your fault. It is not the mother of your child's fault. Not like she rigged the court system.
Well, she personally didn't, but I guess one didn't do any research into this matter before speaking on it, because otherwise one would have known that in the majority of court cases involving child custody, most often the woman is awarded the majority of the custody. Huh.
This entire narrative of the mother of my child is keeping my kids from me is just an...
It's happening to me sadly. Facts. I have a family friend who tried for years and years to see his daughter, but his ex never let him, and he didn't have the financial resources to keep fighting her in courts. I lived that. It took a lot of time and money just to be able to see my kids. Don't give up. Here we have a woman trying to ignore countless cases of it. We know anytime a breakup happens, and depending on the nature of it, there is always a possibility the woman will use the child as a way to get to her ex-partner, and this is something that happens more often than we think. There are grown men and women who still don't know their father because for some reason their mother decided it would be a good idea to keep them from him, but it was decided based on how she feels about her ex, which is unfair to the children as they don't have anything to do with their issue. They make this decision out of their feeling without having a consideration on how it will affect the child in the long run, and this is the aspect of it they should have more consideration to. A while ago, I saw a video of a man who was clearly a grandpa. He was crying because his mother refused to talk to him about his father. He still doesn't know anything about him, and this is something he never dealt with properly, and still affects him. This is what the woman who made this video shouldn't ignore. Again, not all cases, but clearly, there are a lot of them out there. It's obvious there are some cases where a father doesn't put any effort into seeing their kids. We know they exist, but this is not the majority. She also forgot those guys who end up being broke just trying to fight in court to see their kids, and this is something she should consider, instead of making this generalized video.
This is all for today's video. I hope you like it. Make sure you also check the video on the screen. You will enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out.